Hi. Okay. My name is Emily Myers, and I am making this video to explain to anybody interested what I'm doing to lose weight. I am no stranger to weight loss and weight gain. When I married my husband 18 years ago, I didn't know a lot about nutrition and always felt like I was 5 pounds overweight. I was just never happy with my body. And then after we got married, I gained 100 pounds. There were different factors to that, but and a huge factor is total exhaustion raising kids and turning to food for energy or just to force me through the day. Anyways, this video is to explain to people what I'm doing to lose weight now. Like I said, I'm no stranger to weight gain, weight loss, and I have gained and lost that top 30 several times over the last 15 years. And every time I can, almost to the pound, I can predict when people notice and then want to know, what are you doing? Oh my goodness, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm always happy to share. It helps me. It helps me stay accountable. It helps me stay on the path. But this is the first time that that path did not just disintegrate. And I think I know why. Susan Pierce Thompson, you brilliant woman, you. So it's happening again. I've had 8 or 10 women that want to know the details of what I'm doing to lose weight because it's pretty obvious. Yay. It's obvious that I'm losing weight, and I'm running into these women at the dollar store or when I drop my kids off at school or when I used to, when kids used to go to school. By the way, happy Mother's Day, quarantine Mother's Day today. This is my Mother's Day treat, filming this. I've been wanting to film this for a long time. I've been scratching out little notes in my notebook, and it's a big relief to me to go ahead and get it recorded. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. And like I said, back in the day when kids used to go to school, I'd run into women that wanted to know, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. And there's not enough time in the school drop-off line or the dollar store line at the register to share as much as I want to share. So long answer is about to come. Short answer is bright line eating. Bright line eating. Like I said, I've lost weight. I've been successful at losing 25 or 30 pounds before. Everything you can imagine. Hiring personal trainers, LA weight loss, Weight Watchers. I joined Weight Watchers 9 times. My little username tagline on Weight Watchers was ninth time's a charm. And it was not the charm for me like I was hoping it would be, but that's okay because by the grace of God, I have found the key that unlocked my combination lock, and that is this. So I have pushed past that 20 or 30 pound mark. I've lost at least 58 pounds. The last time I weighed was April 15th, and I had lost 50 pounds doing this. By then, I'll weigh again May 19th. Anyways, I am on a new trajectory that I'm thrilled to be on that requires more discipline and more of me mentally and emotionally than anything I've ever done, especially with regards to weight loss. But tiny little background, I taught special education for 5 years. I loved working with kids that had severe behavior issues, because I'm super fascinated with human behavior, why we do what we do. There's usually a reason. And that certainly helped me love those babies because everyone in my class, it was 90% boys, had been kicked out of the middle school or high school. But my goodness, get to know them just a tiny bit, and it's not hard to figure out why they do what they do. Anyways, I loved that, and I love this. I love what all I'm learning on this weight loss journey, and I am there's a fly. I am happy to share it with you. So if you have any questions, link them below. I am letting myself have free reign. I'm watching the clock right now. It's already been 5 minutes. This might end up, I don't know. I'd love to keep it under 20, but no stress. This is my one take wonder. I should tell you that my kids are in the other room. I told them they can eat as many popsicles as they want and they can watch Netflix. Just let me record this. Also, I did not organize my notes. Let me show you what they look like. They look like notes. They look like a brainstorm over the past several months. I'm just going to kind of go through them, and as I touch on something, I'll highlight it and get it out of my face. So bear with me on my one take wonder here, but here is what I'm doing. I am doing bright line eating. Bright lines, as in a law term, like on a contract, that there are bright lines on the paper that you don't cross. This book is written by Susan Pierce Thompson, Ph.D. Susan is a wealth of information. She is so brilliant, so humble, so vulnerable, so generous, so smiley. Susan, if I don't get to meet you in person someday, mwah! Big kiss, big hug, big handshake, big look you in the eyes. Oh, I should be looking up here. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your commitment to doing what you do. It's benefiting, I would say, more people than you can imagine, but I think you can imagine. So, okay, bright line eating. There are 4 bright lines we don't cross, okay? No sugar, no flour, only 3 meals a day, which means no snacking. And each of those meals is weighed and measured. So my brain does not get to tell me, how about a little bit more of this? How about something? How about a little something here? How about a little something there? It's decided for me. In fact, it's decided by me the night before.
I just found my chopstick.
Good. Come here. This is Mary. Oh, I should mention I'm the mother of 5. This is my oldest daughter.
And I found my chopstick in my secret place.
She found her chopstick. This is my oldest kid. She's 3. She has 4 younger. I'm kidding. She's my baby. She's my youngest. This is my... Oh, these are 100% of my girls. I have 3 boys and 2 girls.
Hey.
That's Clara. This is Mary. Okay, Mary, I'm so glad you found your chapstick.
When my lips get dry, I'm gonna hold this forever and put it on.
Okay.
And look at it. Do you want to put some on?
Okay. I love you. Now, shut that door. I'll talk to you in a minute.
I'm gonna go play with Barbies.
Perfect. Shut the door. Okay. 4 bright lines, no sugar, no flour, 3 meals a day, no snacking, and then you weigh and measure everything. Only eating 3 meals a day, I think of it as, you can almost think of it as breakfast 1, breakfast 2, breakfast 3, because you are breaking a fast after each meal. You are going so long, your body's going so long between eating, you can feel your hormones level back out. It is wonderful. Okay. So that is the book, the price. People want to know, what are you spending? Because I have literally spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to lose weight. When you go to brightlineeating.com, take the susceptibility quiz. The way Susan describes it is that we are not all... Oh, I should tell you, this approaches... weight loss, but really it approaches our relationship with food from a perspective of addiction. And over the past 2.5 years, I started to realize that my brain is highly, highly addicted to sugar. But I will also lump in food. My brain was highly addicted to giant amounts of food in the form of binging, especially late at night when the hunger hormone ghrelin kicks in and tries to convince my body that the best thing I could possibly do is stuff myself and then crawl into bed like a bear needing to hibernate. I thought I was a bear. My brain thought I was a bear needing to hibernate. So because she is a recovering addict herself from a very, very early age. Alcohol, heroin, and then once those got taken care of, food. She's amazing. Let her, here, I'm going to try to look up here. Let her tell you her story, not me. She's very generous with sharing the details. BrightlineEating.com, there is a survey to take to see how susceptible you are to addictive behaviors. And please know, on a scale of 1 to 10, I am a 10. If I could be, I'd be a 20. And I firmly believe that if you are highly susceptible to being addicted, then that's the degree to how serious you should take this. I don't push this on people because it's no joke. I am on day 199. I have not had sugar or flour since October 24th, and today is May 10th. I've shed tears over that. It's been hard. I've had moments where my addiction was screaming at me like my own little tiny 2-year-old inside of my brain that is used to getting its way. And it's been the easiest thing I've ever done to lose weight, but it's been the most excruciating thing I've ever done to find healthy ways to cope. Not realizing I was using food and sugar to cope before. So take the quiz. See where you land. If you land at a 2 or a 3 on this scale of 1 to 10, you could probably do your own version of this. But if you are a 9 or a 10, I honestly believe there's only one way to do this, and that's 100%. So price, there is a 14-day challenge. It costs $24, maybe $29, I don't remember. Best 20-something dollars I've ever spent in my life. I spent that, and then I bought the book, and then I bought the cookbook. I've never used the cookbook, but I'm glad I own it. It has obviously recipes, but loads and loads of before and after pictures and people's testimonies. But when you get into this, you will see she didn't even want to write a cookbook because she didn't want this to be about food and food obsession and how can we make this more tasty and this more. For people that are really addicted to food, we need to become neutral around it. And I'm doing nothing but quoting her. So please, by all means, go listen to her directly. So I spent $24 on the 14-day challenge, and I bought these books. That's it. That's all I've spent. I cannot recommend the 14-day challenge enough. It is 14 days. It's your first 14 days. And she is going to open up a video for you each day. So every day it'll come to your email. Oh, excuse me. Oh, well. I normally have all this up in a bun with everything pinned back. I'm trying to be fancy for this video. And it's annoying. Okay. Every day of the 14-day challenge, she'll open up a new video. And it just takes you that next little step. And she makes you get ready for the 14-day challenge before you even get to start. So she holds your hand through it. And I did it with my mom. If you can find somebody to do it with you, do it. If not, let me know you're doing it and I'll cheer you on. But at the end of these 14 days, I was down either 10.0 or 10.2 pounds in 2 weeks. My before pictures blow me away now because that was 6 months ago. And I do not remember my body looking like that, but it was just rounder than it is now. And I love myself and I love my body. And these bodies we're in, they're gifts and they're vehicles. I do not criticize my body. I love it. I'm grateful for it. I used to have a really low self-esteem and I was real critical of my body, but not anymore. And I mean, long time ago, I loved myself at my highest weight. And I worked hard taking care of all these kids and doing everything my husband and I do. So that's why it just blows me away to look at the pictures and I'm like, wow, it looks so uncomfortable. And it was. So take before and after pictures. But anyways, to be down 10 pounds, I was like, oh, I'm going on to day 15. And day 15 led to 16, to 20, to 30. I didn't eat at a restaurant until day 34. It's just, you're going to find out it's easier to eat at home. So anyways, let me get rolling here. Bright Line Eating, Susan Pierce Thompson. You are going to need a book. She'll tell you all this. But here's my little journal. And here is the food plan. The food plan, this is the weight loss food plan. And I am really looking forward to the maintenance food plan when I get to eat a little bit more, because this is what I eat every single day. When I started, and by the way, she tells you what you get to eat from these categories. So, done. There's your new shopping list. This is your grocery list. It's that easy. This really simplifies my life, okay? My little journal, when I first started off, I would write down okay, so breakfast, lunch, dinner. I would write down P, G, F, a protein, a grain, and a fat until I got really used to what breakfast is and what lunch is. I have moved into this notebook here that I'm using. Now I don't write those anymore. I just scribble it out the night before. This diet is nothing but nutrition. So I feel like my hair, my skin, my eyes, everything is just healthier than ever, because literally all I eat is nutrition. I eat no junk food, zero. Okay. This is something that the longer you do it, the easier it gets. Most diets, the longer you do it, the harder it gets, because you're freaking out and you're white knuckling, and then sure enough, eventually you cave, you crack, you binge. So this is something that gets easier and easier the longer you do it, because it's becoming a way of life. It is a way of life. And like Susan Pierce Thompson has pointed out, especially, I read it in her book, if it started out as a plant and it ends up a powder, it is by definition a drug. So don't be afraid to let go of sugar and flour, especially cane, just white sugar, table sugar. They are not food. The definition of food is something that helps sustain life, that you would take for nutrition. So even the term junk food is a misnomer. There's no such thing as junk food. There's junk and there's food. And this has helped me cut out junk. The other thing is about junk, and just embrace it. Just let go of it. Addiction, the path of addiction gets narrower and narrower. It's kind of like when you clean out your van and you first get out all the giant fast food wrappers. You don't even notice the other stuff until you get those out. So this has been a process for me of decluttering my body, and it started January 22nd of 2019, I gave up coffee because it was causing adrenal fatigue. I looked up why am I exhausted all the time, and it said coffee is one of the number one reasons. I was demanding too much of my adrenal glands, and they went on strike. And it was really inconvenient to be in the bed for 3 days. March 12th, 2019, I gave up diet soda because I was convinced that diet soda was why I was overweight. I could tell it was causing vicious cravings. I gave up diet soda. Diet Dr. Pepper was my thing. That did not solve all my weight problems, but I was glad to no longer be addicted to that chemical. June 10th of 2019, so we're coming up on a year, I gave up sodas. October 24th, with Bright Line Eating, I gave up sugar and flour. Shortly after that, I didn't want to, but I did want to. I gave up alcohol. Beer was starting to make me sick, and wine gave me nightmares. I know, it's kind of weird. And then there's that. So, don't I sound like a bunch of fun? Do not come. If I invite you to a dinner party, don't come. It's going to be water and lettuce. Okay, so here I am, 2020, free from all that, but again, addiction, the path out of addiction is keeps getting narrower and narrower, and I can see that. Bright Line Eating has tons and tons and tons of support on Facebook. Go on Facebook, Bright Line Eating Official or Bright Line Eating Groups. I don't know. I've not been on Facebook since 2009. Go on Bright Line Eating. Find Susan Pierce Thompson. There's a boot camp you can do if you're interested. I think it's about $500, but you can do the boot camp. It's 8 weeks long, and it is tons of phone calls and tons of support. I mean, this is something you need if you're high on this susceptibility scale and you're gonna really do this. You need support. Find her on YouTube. Listen to her vlogs. When I first started this, I would have them on all day long while I was doing dishes, folding laundry. Listen to her. Just saturate yourself with this information. Let's see. This is going to reveal to you when you used to use food, when all of a sudden you can't anymore. Excuse me, junk, not, well, food, because even food, even large quantities of actual nutrition, I can't do anymore because that's a quantity. I realized for me really quickly it was Friday nights when I thought, hey, it's Friday, time to have fun, and food is just no longer fun for me. It is simply fuel. It's what I use to fuel my body. I got to find other ways to have fun, and that's been a challenge, but I'm getting there. All right. Things I love about this. Almost zero food goes to waste. I go buy a bunch of produce, and then I play this little game of like, what do I have to eat today or tomorrow to make sure it doesn't go bad? So I start scribbling in my journal even 3 or 4 days ahead to make sure I don't let any food go bad. You're going to eat at least 20 ounces of vegetables a day. That's a lot, so learn to love vegetables. Okay. Just a couple more things, and I think I'm going to be done. I don't know. Focus a lot more on the do's and not the don'ts. Do not wake up every day thinking about what you cannot have. Wake up thinking about what was breakfast, a grain, a protein. Get that scale out and get ready. Keep your mentality focused, forward focused on what you need to do, what your next meal is, what your next move is. Make your meals as mealish as possible. So here's a little trick. This is one of the things on the list that we can have. Nutritional yeast. Think of this as like Parmesan cheese. You can have up to a half ounce of this at any given meal. A half ounce is a ton. I mean, it would be a 6-inch snow on your spaghetti. Not like a little dusting. But this can make your meal feel a little bit more substantial. As you start dropping weight, and you will. This is just my suggestion. Get those clothes out of the house. Start to identify with your new size, your new body, and even if they were your favorite, or you just bought them, or they just, for whatever reason, they gotta go. They gotta go, because if you commit to this, out with the old, in with the new. And do yourself a favor and just commit. The first sermon I ever heard from my pastor, Matt, shout out to Matt and Abby, was on commitment. And commitment simply means saying, yes, I'm going to do something, even though there will be times where I don't want to. So commit to this the way you're committed to getting up and going to work every day, or the way you're committed to your spouse if you're married. Your commitment to them has nothing to do with the day-to-day ebb and flow of how good or bad things are. Your commitment is for the long haul. So don't wake up and don't torture yourself by deciding, do I really want to do this? Do I want to keep doing this? Just, if you believe that you are addicted to food or sugar, I bought in. I have bought into this. I do believe it. I remember I was getting ready to drop the girls off at dance class. And no, I wasn't going to drop them off. I was going to go in, and I have to help. I got to take my shoes off and help. I did not know that. Dance class lasts an hour, and I remember I started in the parking lot like shaking, like I needed sugar. I had an overwhelming craving come on me. I've never been a smoker, but from what I understand, people have described to me that it's just like the nicotine addiction of like, I gotta have this now. We were gonna be late to dance class, but I put the girls back in the van, and we went and found me some sugar, and I could not get it in fast enough. I tell people it has nothing to do with what form it comes in. I don't care. If I could stick it in my arm, I would. If I could skip the whole chewing and swallowing, I would. I would just get it in my system, because I was like freaking out. I just started to notice, really over the past 3 or 4 months before I started this, and the 2 years before that, my sugar tolerance was through the roof. I used sugar in food to get me through getting 5 newborns to sleep, to get me through earning 2 degrees. I used sugar to force myself to keep going instead of food to fuel myself to go. And my brain got highly addicted. And Susan will explain the science in more detail, but it's dopamine down regulation. It's just, drugs are dose dependent. And I got to the point where it took such a huge amount of sugar, like a whole box of chocolates, for me to calm down. I quit enjoying ice cream cones because I didn't get them for the flavor or to enjoy them. I got them to like calm down. They say addiction is not, it's when you used to take it to feel good, now you take it to feel normal. I was absolutely taking sugar to feel normal and make the shakes go away. Dopamine down regulation. At first it was nice big dopamine hits, and I'd feel good and happy, and I could keep going, and I could write 20 more pages. I could go 3 more hours as a newborn baby. But then after a while, that amount of sugar didn't do that anymore. So I had to have more and more and more, and it was like these crazy amounts. A couple Christmases ago, I got up in the middle of the night to get a drink of water, but instead I ate a box of chocolates in the middle of the night. So my body is highly addicted, and I hear that if you are addicted to something while you're in the house recovering, your addiction is out in the driveway doing push-ups. So I surrender. I'm addicted. My brain's addicted. I have laid out neural pathways that will always be there. My leptin, the hormone that tells you when you're full, was so screwed up, and it's so sad because people that are really overweight and their hormones are all out of whack, their body can no longer tell them that they're full. In fact, when somebody that's really overweight starts eating a meal, halfway through the meal they're hungrier than they were when they started, and when they're all done, they are hungrier they were when they started. And I remember that. I remember eating a whole meal and then wanting another meal and then wanting something after that. And I would not stop until there was some physical limitation. Like I was either in pain or I was basically blacked out, drunk on food and sugar. So I feel a freedom now that I have probably never experienced in my entire adult life. I shared my testimony a while back, and just one thing to share with you is that this is a trade-off. Me having my sanity and living in a right-sized body and letting my addiction be active are mutually exclusive. I cannot have both. It's a trade-off, and I am trading the known for the unknown. I know what pizza tastes like. I know what ice cream tastes like. I know what ices taste like. I do not know what it's like to be at a healthy weight as a 39-year-old woman. So I want to experience more than just all of the junk that I was eating. So I had to hand it over, and I did. Okay. I cannot stress enough, you're going to need support. Find a friend that's doing this. Get teamed up with somebody. This is no joke. It's no joke. It's life-changing. My husband and I, he gained a bunch of weight too. Greg, I'm throwing you under the bus with me here. He and I both turned to food as just like a numb out. When we were living 12 hours away from everybody we knew, we had little bitty babies, and he was in law school. Gabby's. Thank God, and I mean that. Thank God for Gabby's. This little Mexican restaurant down the road we used to walk to. But gone are the days of sitting in a booth. You know, I can't spend half my life in a booth and fit into the jeans that I'm currently wearing that is a size I haven't seen for 12 years. So it's a trade-off. All right. Speaking of little 2-year-old in your brain, here's a little visual for you. Imagine Walmart, Lowe's, whatever, and there's a mom and she's got a 2-year-old, a bunch of moms and with their 2-year-olds in their buggies, and kids are throwing fits. I imagine my 2-year-old, my addiction that's I've been getting what it wanted for 15 years. I imagine it just sitting there in the cart like, and another little 2-year-old like, hey, why aren't you throwing a fit? And I want my 2-year-old to look at all the other 2-year-olds and say, because it doesn't work with her. Okay, I'm training my 2-year-old. I'm training my addiction to chill out. Quit begging for something you're not going to get. Which is why it's a huge danger zone to give into it, because that's intermittent reinforcement. That will cause that 2-year-old to kick and scream harder than ever because they got it last Tuesday. So why wouldn't they get it again? They're gonna have more fight left in them. You gotta take the fight out of them. It's sad. You gotta break them. It's pitiful. Okay. Watch out for little teeny tiny behaviors. I am going to attach my commitment statement to the bottom of this. Watch out for little teeny tiny behaviors. Those will get you. Those are the dangerous ones. Oh, those start the slippery slope, okay? Especially if you are, I'm going to keep getting closer, high on the susceptibility scale. If you are addicted to food, you can't, there's no wiggle room. I prayed to God years ago that he would, this is like asking for patience, but I wanted more discipline in my life. I did. I prayed to God that I would have more discipline in my life. And I swear I'm having a moment right now. I believe got that prayer answered. Okay. When you are wanting a little something at night, and you're like, oh, I want a little something. You got a need to meet. You do have a need to meet, but you need to figure out what that is. Do a little digging. What is it that you're really needing? What is it that you're really wanting? A friend of mine always says, I text her, I reach out a lot. I'm like, oh, I'm so tempted. I want ice cream. I want, you are going to grieve. I grieved. And I continue to. It hits me every once in a while. Gone are the days. I started October 24th. A week later was Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas and New Year's. Gone. If you're sentimental about grandma's chess pie and, Uncle Lou's buttery biscuits, you're going to be sad. You got to grieve those things and say, you know what? Been there, done that. Never been here, never done this. So, you got to figure out when you're really wanting something, what is it that you want? But I have a little tip for you. I tell children, our 5 senses are all right here on our face. See, smell, taste, touch, and hear. Okay. Taste. Your body doesn't care what you just ate. As soon as you chew it and swallow it, it has to then deal with it. You are going to do your body such a huge favor not having to process all that poison anymore, okay? Just first of all, let me tell you a huge thank you from your body. Your body... Okay. I don't know why that stopped, but big, huge thank you to you from your body for not having to process all this poison anymore. But like I was saying, we have 5 senses. So a lot of times when we're wanting a little something, we're just in the habit of consuming. We're just in the habit of chewing and swallowing. And like I said, after you chew it and swallow it, your body doesn't care what it was. It doesn't care if it's getting protein in the form, don't get me wrong, there's better protein in others, there's better vitamins, minerals, blah, blah, blah. But don't kid yourself. All this junk that we're craving, our eyes are craving it because it's so colorful, and they make kids' candy look it looks like the rainbow. It's so colorful. It's a billion-dollar business. Let's don't fall for it. But your eyes want it, your mouth wants it, but your body, after you chew it and swallow it, your body then has to deal with it. So, if you find yourself wanting something, here's a little tip that's been working for me lately. You have 4 other senses that you could consume with. You could consume a book, right? You literally might just be wanting to consume something. You could consume a yummy smell. Dr. Teal's eucalyptus. Okay. I don't know what else. You get my point. We don't always have to eat and drink to consume. Let's see. Okay. I can tell you my body and my brain are healing, and I'm really excited about that. I did want to tell you, Facebook, there's a huge community on Facebook. I personally go to Celebrate Recovery for this. I go to Celebrate Recovery for food addiction and sugar addiction. And I go so that this is not indefinite. Yes, this is for the rest of my life. My kids are like, Mama, at my birthday, I'll make my cake out of strawberries so you can have some. It's really sweet. Okay. But I don't want to think of it as the rest of my life. I don't want to think of it as in terms of the rest of my life. That's kind of daunting. So Celebrate Recovery is on Tuesdays. And that helps me just think I just got to make it to the next Tuesday. And then I get support there. And I'm around other people that really inspire me, that are doing the same thing I'm doing in their own way, which is surrendering. It's a process of being obedient and surrendering. Okay. I am resensitizing. That's kind of neat for me to experience. I do crave carbs, but now I crave vegetable carbs. Who knew that you could crave those kinds of carbs. Lisa Turkhurst has great books out there, and she's the one that said we crave what we eat. So I promise you, the more you eat this way, the more you'll crave eating this way. Let's see. Pace yourself. Susan Pierce Thompson talks about the weight loss phase as the bunny slipper phase, okay? Be patient, be kind, be gentle with yourself. You are eating at a deficit, okay? You are eating so few calories that your body has to turn to your fat storage to fuel itself. The process of losing weight is exhausting. So, she says, do not exercise, which is fine with me. And I hired 2 personal trainers in the past and worked my butt off and ended up with adrenal fatigue because I was drinking so much coffee to have energy for the personal trainers. Both times I gained weight. Both times. This last one I spent hundreds of dollars, and when I was said and done with my visits with her, I was up 12 pounds. I literally bought myself bunny slippers because Susan Pierce Thompson talks about put your bunny slippers on. Be gentle and kind with yourself. Pace yourself. We are remodeling our home right now, and if I go try and do what I used to do, I feel like I got hit by a truck the next morning because I am not operating on an endless supply of calories like I used to. Like I used to could work and work and work and work and work and then eat half a large pizza and then eat a blizzard and then work some more. No, not anymore. So I got to pace myself, but eventually this weight loss phase will be complete. And I will be on maintenance, and I can eat a little more. Okay, I have one final thing to say, and then I'm done. Bye, Fly. Bye, everybody. Be loyal to yourself. My sister, who is one of my heroes, Joy Elizabeth Meyer. I hope you don't mind me saying your name. She's been cheering me on lately, especially when I shoot her pictures of me wearing smaller sizes. She's like, oh my gosh, congratulations. Okay. But she said something that stood out the other day, and she said, you are being so loyal to yourself. There is nothing better we can do for our families than take excellent care of ourselves. But there's nothing better we could do for ourselves physically, than to take excellent care of ourselves. I say physically because the best thing we could possibly do is surrender our lives to Christ. I am a Christian, and I want to give credit where credit is due. I'm grateful to God for this body that I'm sitting here in. I'm grateful to God for this opportunity to share this with you. I'm grateful to God for Bright Line Eating. I'm grateful to God for Susan Pierce Thompson. I'm grateful to God for his guidance and leadership in my life. And that is by far the best thing we could do. But for these bodies we're in, I told a group of ladies once, complaining about them or critiquing them is like giving a bicycle to a child, and the child looks at the bike and says, oh, golly, I hate the color. I hate the tires. Look at his bike. Why couldn't I have that bike? And like, you just gave it to him. It's a gift. When we give a gift to someone, we want them to enjoy it and take care of it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying a size medium shirt, not the 2X that I was in not long ago. So, be loyal. Just, if you're going to do this and you're high on the susceptibility scale, there's no doing it 1 foot in. Jump in, enjoy. I'm going to go through a couple things that work for me. And don't let me leave here without telling you again, follow Susan Pierce Thompson. Find her. She's got the goods. Okay, here's something that works for me. This scale works for me. I got this from Walmart. It's dirty because I use it all day long. In fact, I take it with me to restaurants. And I leave there feeling good about what I ate and how much I ate. Okay. When you make a bunch of food, have some little containers ready. Okay, I love these little short fat things. Oats, sweet potatoes. You get a grain for breakfast in the weight loss phase. Make a big batch and then go ahead with your scale out. Don't put your leftovers all in one big thing. Go ahead and leftover them out into these. I have 8 of these. And then I've got breakfast for like the next 6 days. For a long time, I had 4 ounces of sweet potatoes. And then at night, I would put in 4 ounces of ham and a little bit of barbecue sauce. These are great. So are these. Get you a few of these. And I store, this has nothing to do with bright line eating. I now store all my containers with the lid on. All of my Tupperware, I have a big thing, lid on, because I use Tupperware all day long. I never have to find lids. They're already on. Okay. I earn my breakfast every morning by drinking 32 ounces of water. 32 ounces, 32 ounces. I don't get breakfast until I have 32 ounces of water in me. I've been doing that for 7 or 8 years. I also lately have been earning my dinner by getting another 32 ounces. I keep a case of waters on the floor by my refrigerator because I can drink a bottle of water room temperature a lot faster than when it's cold. I can drink a bottle of water room temperature in 11 seconds. Beat that. Beat it. There's your quarantine challenge. Okay? Cinnamon on top of frozen fruit. You're going to thank me, especially mango. Frozen mango. Okay. You know how good cinnamon sugar is? Well, here's an amazing thing. When you put cinnamon on top of frozen fruit, it's like the sugar starts to come out of it and the ice, and it mixes with the cinnamon, and it tastes like you just covered your fruit in cinnamon sugar, not just cinnamon. So good. And some woman that I listen to on YouTube talks about Saigon cinnamon. So I think that's the best. I don't know. Okay. Oh, I don't get that until I use up this. No offense, Walmart. Okay. My kids say, you put cinnamon on everything. And I'm like, shut up. No, not really. Okay. These. You know, you need a tablespoon, right? You need a tablespoon, but like you don't want to go buy a whole set of measuring spoons. I use these a lot. A coffee scoop for like 88 cents is 2 tablespoons. So you can buy those individually and not have to buy a whole, pack for the tablespoon. There's more Tupperware that I stored all with the lid on, but glass lock. Treat yourself. Get through the 14 days and then treat yourself to some glass lock. Okay? This is something I want to show you. This is my salad dressing regimen that I'm hooked on. Okay. California Olive Ranch. Literally, thank you, Stephen Guys, author Stephen Guys. He taught me this. Olive oil has to go through like a huge checklist, and sometimes they only get like 1 or 2 criteria out of like 20. California Olive Ranch and one other brand were the only ones that like got like all of those check marks. Like they passed all those tests. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They scored really high, and you can get that at Walmart. It is not the most fancy thing ever. It's a little pricey. Worth it. Okay, California Olive Ranch mixed with, so it's 1 tablespoon of that. Sprinkle some of this on. Tony Chachere's Louisiana seasoning. Cajun seasoning. Okay. Then a bunch of balsamic vinegar. Kind of as much as you want. That is my salad dressing plus salt and pepper every single time I have a salad. Rarely do I do 1 tablespoon of ranch or something like that, because you get 1 tablespoon. That is not a lot for 14 ounces, like a huge salad or something. But because this is like water, it makes all this mixed together. And don't you know, at the end of that salad, I drink all the rest of it. Bunch of balsamic vinegar. I'm telling you, I'm addicted. Okay. I was sliding. I had a slippery slope going on, so I made myself this chart. And I said, no weighing, 64 ounces of water, and I will eat none of tomorrow's food, because I started eating tomorrow's food. I started eating 3 or 4 days worth of food at once, and then just starving for a few days. No. Oh. So I did this to get me back on track, and it worked so well that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make that commitment video, and I did, and I'll link that below. This worked so well. Taking a break from the scale, no weighing until April 14th. It worked so well. I just flipped this thing over, and I filled as many squares as I could on there. No weighing until Tuesday, May 19th. 64 ounces of water a day, and none of tomorrow's food. And tomorrow, I had to write all this. Tomorrow is defined by after I've slept, not after midnight. Because a lot of times after midnight, I start eating all my food for the next day. You guys, this is going so well, though. It really is, to the point where when I'm done with this, I'm going to get a regular size poster board and just fill as many squares as I can and just keep myself. Jerry Seinfeld was asked once, how do you keep writing so much comedy every day? And he said, I've got my calendar and I put an X for the days that I write comedy, and I don't want to miss an X. I don't want to miss a check. Plus, I made that commitment video and sent it to my Celebrate Recovery leader, so I feel like I should do what I said. Okay. One last thing. I recommend this app. It's called I Am Sober. That's what it looks like. And that's the name of it. And it lets you start counting the days, the hours, the minutes, literally. I'm 199 days sober off sugar and flour. Six months, 16 days, 15 hours, 1 minute, and 15 seconds. All right. Like I said, I don't push this on people because it's no joke. It could help everyone. And if you're low on the susceptibility scale, you can do like people I know and kind of do your own version of it. I mean, it's nothing but healthy. But if you're high on the susceptibility scale, it could be for you the answer. Like, I absolutely believe it is for me. All right. That's it. Do not like, subscribe, or click the notification bell, or you will be so disappointed because I don't think I'm going to be putting out very many more videos. And actually, I say that, but you can still hit the like button. Okay. And really and truly, I might put out like an update every 200 days. I don't know. But now that I've shared all this with you, I'm interested to hear from you. Please feel free to leave questions below, and I'll answer them. I love you dearly. I wish you well. And I would love for you to be on this journey with me. Here in Elkton, our Celebrate Recoveries are on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Meet me there. If 5 of you come, I get a coffee mug. Okay. Like I said, go find Susan Pierce Thompson. Bright Line Eating. Bye.